Good morning, Sav here from Sav Talks Football, joined by Henry Wright from Henry Wright TV. Keep subbing to this guy, he's just a few away from the big 10K. This is a daily dose of Spurs with a special guest, day 16. Henry, 3 wins, let's start that again. Henry, 3 games in 8 days, in 3 competitions, three games without a win, no goals, out of 2 competitions, absolutely lacklustre. No fight, no guts. The players aren't playing for the manager. And it's got to be said now with, I've been saying it for months, but Conte out.
Yeah, to be honest, you put the nail on the head. We've lost to, under Conte in cup competitions, we've lost to Mura, we've lost to Middlesbrough, we've lost to Sheffield United, we've lost to Milan now. It's just the whole thing is shambles. The recruitment at this football club has been poor. But that being said, our squad is good enough and the players we've got are good enough to be beating teams like Wolves, Sheffield United and the Milan team that, let's be honest, is nowhere near the Milan teams of the past. And players like Harry Kane and Son again tonight didn't turn up. We're giving players like Davis and Dyer new contracts. The changes in yesterday's game when we brought on Davinson Sanchez, you need a goal. You said it to me about an hour ago. You need a goal. You get every attacker in the box. We bring on Davinson Sanchez. The in-game management decisions from Conte are awful. They are. I honestly believe that some of the in-game decisions from Conte are as bad as Nuno. You're bringing on Davinson Sanchez. You need a goal. You're bringing on the worst centre-back at our club.
Yeah, listen, I understand. Look, we'll talk about Romero in a minute. Romero gets sent off and you're thinking you've got 7 or 8 minutes or whatever it is. Do you bring on another centre-half? For me, I think you chuck Højbjerg back into that back 4. You get another forward on and you say, you know what? I'd rather lose this game 1-0 now, fighting for it, rather than bringing on another defender and taking off Kulusevski as a goal for it.
Not even that, just go to the 2 at the back and we're already going out.
I agree.
So even if we lost, like you said, 1-0, we don't have another option. He only knows to read the 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, right? None of these world-class managers, Ancelotti, Klopp, right? Simeone plays a 4 at the back, sometimes a 3. Pep, right? Jose. No one plays a 3 at the back.
Yeah.
No one plays a 3 at the back.
Yeah. Look, I think the key thing for me is, as you just said there, in-game management is woeful game to game. And I said this to you earlier, Henry. I've said this for months and months on my channel. This isn't an agenda against Conte. I would want anyone coming into this club to do well. Unfortunately, he's not. Yes, 4th place, but I'm sick of fans seeing 4th place as a measure of success. The football we're watching with our own 2 eyes, Henry, is dreadful. This guy is getting away with blue murder. And I'll ask you this. If what we're seeing now, the results, the performances, the tactical substitutions, everything that goes with it, if this was Tim Sherwood, if this was Nuno, if this was Ramos, if this was AVB, Jose. Santini, Jose, our fans months ago would have been calling for this guy to go. Why is Conte getting such a free ride from so much of this fan base?
It's the emotional attachment. We did it with Dele Alli for years and years and years. Last night the fans were singing about Pochettino, his magic, as much as I would take Pochettino back at the moment, but he's not coming back with Toby, Jan, Rose, Walker, Ericsson, the whole gang. He's coming back to Dyer and Davies and a knackered Lloris because Harry Kane probably isn't going to be there.
This is the thing for me. I look at it and I say, what positives is Conte bringing to this club at the moment? And I look at it like this. He hasn't upskilled anyone. Heung-min Son looks worse than ever. Kulusevski looks a complete shadow. Kane is playing dreadfully. Let's be fair. Richarlison, all right, isn't the greatest player, but still scored some goals at Everton. Doesn't look like he can hit a cow's arse with a banjo. You've got Perisic, looks just woeful. I saw him in the World Cup for Croatia. Complete night and day from what we're seeing at Tottenham. Along with that, the results look worse than ever. His record at the moment is worse than AVB's last 10 games, Nuno's last 10 games, Jose's last 10 games. I get it, the owners are got to blame for a lot of things, but managers come, managers go, and managers have to take blame, Henry. This has got to be the end of the road.
From the club perspective, we're still sitting in fourth. That's what they care about. So from a club perspective, he's doing the job. But the club have a decision to make when the fan base is
booing.
Yeah, we're booing at half time. This is a Milan team that came and, to be honest,
they didn't even attack.
It's a masterclass because they did exactly what they needed to do, and it was defend the lead. They've kept 2 clean sheets in 180 minutes. Nearly 190 with extra time against Harry Kane and Son. Yep. Two of when they're in
Europe's
form,
best attackers.
Yeah, and Romero last night.
Well, look, I don't want to go on for too long. What I do want to do is just say this. Look, I've said all along that he's not right for this club. I understand why fans like him. I understand the emotional attachment because he's a winner. I've said all along this isn't about being right, but this was never going to work, Henry. This guy is a winner at clubs that are ready to win now or that need a little bit of stardust sprinkled on them. He is not a manager that's going to build. My only question and my last question to you, Henry, is should he go between now and May, or do we let him see out the last 12 games of the season and he walks away at the end of his contract?
Well, if he's walking away anyway, he might as well go now. I mean, you might as well bring in another manager who could get in and try and get some sort of patterns of play to the end of the season. I mean, my first choice would be someone like De Zerbi or Luis Enrique, but probably isn't going to happen. But what's the point in keeping a manager? You could see his body language.
He's gone. He doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't want to be there at all. He's going to go back to Inter Milan or Juventus.
Did you see his interview after the game? May as well have said, "Please sack me."
Yeah.
It was literally. There's no positivity coming from this man at the moment, and I'm sorry. I'm going to end on this. And thank you, Henry, for joining me this morning. But I'm going to end on this. No one can tell me that I have to like Conte. No one can tell me that just because he's won at previous clubs that I should be grateful he's here. The manager himself doesn't want to be here. It's clear to see. Players now are starting to come out and say things they're not happy. At the end of the day, Conte's got to get out. Paratici's got to go with him. And you know what, Henry? A full reset at this football team is needed.
I think you're absolutely spot on. He doesn't want to be there, so what's the point in keeping him?
Yep. So Conte out. Please, I hope it's today. Even if it's at the end of the end of the season, I can hang on for another 12 games.
Have you seen how many tickets are on the exchange for the Nottingham Forest game?
And listen, people, what I will say, I've really got to go into a meeting. What I will say is people are booing at half time. People are booing at full time. People are not going to the games now. I'm starting to see like the ticket exchange. There are thousands and thousands of seats available for Forest. For me, the club is rotten, but the manager for me is just a massive part of what is going wrong. But Henry, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Speak to everyone later. I won't be streaming this Saturday or Friday as I'm in Dublin. I'll be back for the Spurs review at 7 p.m. on Sunday, followed by the Spurs Corner at 9 p.m. Join us both. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments and I will get back to you all at some point. Much love. Take care.